name is Svetlana, I live in Vilnius, Lithuania, and I want to talk about books that inspired me. The first one is a book by a Russian author, Vladislav Krapivin. It is called A Dovecot on a Yellow Meadow, or something like that, because I don't think it was translated into English or any other language. You can see the book here. I read this book for the first time when I was about 10 years old. The book starts when the main character, an astronaut named Yar, is in space on his spaceship, and suddenly a boy about 11 years old appears, and he says that Yar isn't in space, that he is in this Dovecot. And obviously Yar doesn't believe it, because hello, I am an astronaut, I am in space, and who are you, and how did you come here? And this boy says that Yar isn't even real, that Yar is his imaginary friend, that boy, Tik, and his friends imagined Yar when they were born. Yar thinks this is nonsense, but he agrees to go with the boy to his planet. Truthfully, Yar thinks that this is all a hallucination, but he decides to see what comes of this, and so his adventure begins. And this is children's book, but I think it's not just for children, because yes, it has some children books themes like friendship and adventure and even some sci-fi, but it has no easy solutions. It has some very adult themes, and what I like about this book is that it shows that there are different universes, and they're just one train ride away from us, but another universe doesn't mean that world is better than our world, and we just need to find our happiness and find our family where we are. We don't need another perfect world for that. Okay, so the second book I wanted to talk about is Jackie Key's Trumpet. This is Lithuanian edition. It's called Trimitas in Lithuanian because I read it in Lithuanian. But originally it was written in English, and I think it was translated into different languages too. So this book begins with famous black musician Joe Moody's death. He was a trumpeter and a famous one. He had a wife, Millie, for 50 years. He had an adopted son, but turns out he had a big secret. He wasn't a man, he was a woman, and only Millie knew this secret. Their son didn't know it, and now a journalist wants to write a book about this big scandal. And this book, Trumpet, has three main characters: Millie, that adopted son, and that journalist. But also there are a lot of minor characters, like the doctor, the registrator, the maid, the funeral director, the drummer, and several others. And these minor characters have only a chapter to them, and some of them only have like 3 or 4 pages, but these characters, they're really detailed, and each of them is really alive and written absolutely beautifully. And when I was reading this book, I couldn't read more than 1 chapter a day, because I needed some time to think about it, and it was absolutely out of character for me, because I like to read books just I'm starting a book and finish it the same day, but I was reading this book for several weeks, and it really changed how I look at the books, because this book, there's not a lot that's happening there. Just this Joss Mood is dead, and what next? And I really recommend this book because it shows how a book can be written about a character that is dead, and how this death of one person can change a life of people around them. Even like this doctor or a maid that knew this Joss Moody for maybe even for 5 minutes, but one person's death can change and can make a difference to other people's life. The third book is the book called The Accidental by Alice Smith. This is also Lithuanian edition, but it was written in English. And this was the first book by Alice Smith that I've read, but it wasn't the last. And it starts when a young woman turns out at the house of a wealthy family, and it looks like this family is perfect. It has a mother, a stepfather, teenage son, and teenage daughter. But this family is far from perfect. Everyone has secrets, everyone has really troubled thoughts, and everyone is hiding something. And this young woman starts to change his family, and she shows that they shouldn't be satisfied with who they are. They shouldn't be satisfied with not being happy. And why do I think this book is called The Accidental? Because it shows that accidents matter. And like, who was this young woman? Why did she come to this place? What did she want? But it really doesn't matter. Just she showed out of nowhere accidentally, and she changed a life of 4 people. And this is what I liked about this book. The first book I want to talk about is by Polish author Joanna Chmielewska, and this book is called We Are All Suspects. I don't think it was translated into English, but maybe it was, I'm not sure. And this book is about the main character, a woman named Joanna, who likes to tell stories just to herself. She likes to imagine stories. And one day she imagines that one of her colleagues is dead. Just what if he was killed by someone at their workplace? And when she comes to work, she tells the story. Everyone thinks that it's funny, and the next day that person is dead for real. He is killed just the same way that Joanna imagined. And this is how the story starts. And why I really like this book is because I think it is matters to our storytelling course, and it shows that the stories we create doesn't belong to us. Even the simplest story, it's not ours anymore after we tell it. And I really recommend this book if you can find it. And this is all I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry it was only about books, but books are what inspire me the most. So, thank you.